You could absolutely say that. Hi, how's it going? I got some coffee. I got some more coffee. This is the second mug today. I'm almost starting to feel human. That's why I had to play the Cruelty Squad soundtrack in the background to kind of even it out. You don't want to feel completely human. You always want that little edge of inhumanity at the very edges of your perception. Otherwise, what's to stop you from just running, screaming into the woods? Nothing. Nothing at all. I'm also eating the last white chocolate chip cookie in the house. You know, there was a day a long time ago where if there was the last of some kind of food item in the house, I would not touch it even with a gun to my head. Today I saw there was one white chocolate chip cookie left, and I was like, you know what? That's mine. I deserve it. I'm gonna eat it alongside my my cold brew black coffee. And I'm gonna feel just fantastic. You can definitely tell it's Saturday. Implicit in my choice of soundtrack here is, I did finally get the soundtrack. believe it or not, that extremely loud noise you're hearing isn't part of it. That's Moo tearing apart a box. She's just getting really hyped for consumer soft products. But anyway, I just got it today, so I didn't have time to implement the redemption that lets you force me to play the soundtrack over something else. That'll come next time, if I remember. Well, that's what we're going to be talking about. I have never been made this upset by a game, like, ever. Like, in a long time, at least. I have been slacking on putting highlights into collections. And I went back today to do that because stuff was starting to expire. And, like, there are hours and hours and hours of perfectly flawless footage of Fallout 4 with no stuttering, no lags, no crashing. It only started after we started running the only interesting mod we've ever run. Which leads me to a conclusion. We could get Fallout working. I've done it 100 fucking times. I could just uninstall the thing that's not working, just very quickly transfer over perks and levels, start a fresh save, because you don't want to uninstall something script heavy in the middle of a save and then redo it, because it'll break the whole fucking game. But I have my own routine for recreating stuff. I expanded that to include map markers recently. So it'd be totally seamless. It's just, again, the thing that's broken is the only interesting mod we've ever played. I'm not counting Frost in that, because I don't consider Frost its own content mod, it's more of a background for other stuff. But like, if we're not constantly being attacked by hell beasts, why are we playing the fucking game? Hey, Moo, you good in there? Moo has torn a hole in the side of the box she was destroying and wriggled inside. I looked to the left, I heard the noise, I looked, and her feet were just kicking out the back of it. I think she's fine in there. Hey, Moo, are you good? I see your eyes. Yeah, she's fine. Anyway. And the thing that really fucking bothers me, or that would bother me about disabling Grim, is that the coolest part of the fucking mod, we didn't even, like, run into the circumstances to set it off yet. We never saw Hell. Hell was in that mod. Like, you would straight up be sent to Hell and have to escape. It's a whole thing. Never ran into it. I would not be satisfied turning that mod off without having seen Hell at some point. I know we live in Hell, but different kind of Hell. And then a final thing that I want to talk about is... Now, there was a 3-day gap between the previous stream and this stream. I only just started to get into talking about stuff that I worked on, but that wasn't just 3 days of me being too depressed to stream. It was really more like 1.5 days of me being too depressed to stream. The rest of it was just like working on getting stuff patched and integrated. A thing that I talk about occasionally is I spend a lot of time in FO4 edit trying to get stuff... God, tell me about it. Trying to get stuff to play nice. Simple sorting requires the most work because of the extremely smart way. I'm gonna have to skip this one. I can't. Not right now. There we go. Anyway, because of the extremely smart way that the creation engine works, if you change the name or, like, instance naming rules of something, it just overwrites the record. So, Frost changes weapons, View Down Scopes changes weapons, Spitfire, another mod that I installed that was kind of a back-end thing, that also changes weapons, so that also has to be carried forward. Yeah, exactly. It's just been like this for fucking ever. Normally, that's, like, perfectly deal-withable in, like, Fallout New Vegas or whatever, or Fallout 3, because those games are so, like, 90% of the time, you are not going to have a level of sophistication with, like, weapon mods or weapon skins or whatever that requires multiple overrides. Whereas, like I just mentioned, Frost makes changes to receivers, see-through scopes adds the ability to actually see through scopes. Scopes are a weapon mod. Weapons mod is attached to weapons, which means that they have to alter the weapon records in order to allow the weapon mods to attach. Spitfire, which adds muzzle heat and flash effects, does a lot of work with projectiles, but it needs to also change barrel records. Barrels are a weapon mod. Weapon mods have to attach to weapons. For a weapon mod to attach to a weapon, the weapon record itself has to be altered, which means that there's multiple things tugging in multiple directions, and it's on me, this fucking chump here, to get him to play nice. And it's extremely fucking time consuming. Like, days of work for one day of streaming. And this is not a task that is ever really finished. This is a task that I just kind of get bored with and then just boot up the game. There is stuff, I'm sure you've noticed, in there. Anything that doesn't have a sorting icon is something that I have not manually fixed yet. And even stuff that is meant to update. Yeah, that was memorable. That was perfect timing. And stuff that, like, also, another thing is that a lot of the patches for things like simple sorting are old, especially the Frost simple sorting patch, which is supposed to, you know, make simple sorting work with Frost, except Frost is, like, frozen in development, but Frost Plus is not. That's constantly changing. Like, the last version of it from, like, 4.6 to 4.7 or whatever changed a whole bunch of item records that I didn't even know were fucking changed because they weren't in the changelog. I literally noticed it while I was looking at some stuff from Nuka World, and I noticed there was an extra record in the columns. It was like, oh, okay, so that just changed a bunch of shit without telling anyone. That's cool. I have to carry forward all dozen Nuka Cola flavors from Nuka World because, for some reason, Red decided to put up overrides for those into Frost Plus and not tell anyone. Just throwing my hands up in confusion. Anyway, I find working in FF4 Edit its own, like, special kind of catharsis. It's fun in a weird, punishing kind of way. But it is still, again, to spend 3 days working on this project and then have it boot out within 25 minutes. Like, even when we previously had instability, it kicked it after like 2.5, 3 hours. That's just a stream. That's just the game gently being like, hey dipshit, you have to work tomorrow, go to bed. 25 minutes? Fuck that. It's not sustainable. I was so mad I couldn't even boot it back up. I couldn't even just be like, yeah, let's play Truck Sim or something. No, I was too fucking mad. More mad than I've ever been in a video game. At least in my adult life. As a child, I got very mad at Cool Spot. That game was absolute bullshit. So, I told you that story. Yeah. Honestly, that's half of why Cruelty Squad has been so refreshing. There just barely is any AI in that. Everything is a binary state of whether or not it has seen you and whether or not it can path to you. There's never a question of, hey, why did the AI do that? Because if the AI is moving at all, that means it has seen you and is trying to path to you. Simple. Elegant. Kind of stupid, but it still works. I'm still struggling to figure out what the fuck that weird shockwave at the gas station was that destroyed my legs. Because I was getting that when I was testing off stream, but it was only happening about every 5 minutes. Whereas when I booted up the game with game capture running, it was happening every 5 seconds. Why? I don't know. I don't even know what it was. I thought it was ghosts. Ghosts in Grim have weird attacks that aren't necessarily straightforward damage, but we killed all the ghosts. If there were more ghosts, right there, my CB would be going off, and it wasn't. Welcome, Muna. We're just chatting about Fallout. Getting mad about Todd. Listening to the sonorous strains of the Cruelty Squad soundtrack, which I now own. It's real good. I am going to turn it down about 5% though. I love this track, but it's harsh. There we go. Just finished my coffee. I'm switching over to water. So I told you that story, so I could tell you this one. Something that people commented on a couple streams ago that I didn't really acknowledge at the time because I was busy. I think I was getting killed by army remnants over and over at the time. Or this might have been while I was out driving and I left the horror radio running. People mentioned that the characters that we have sort of collectively made up for this game are much more interesting than the game that currently imprisons them. Basically the old, wait, why not bring Miami Mike forward into other games? And I thought, hey, that's a good idea, because this game fucking sucks. So, as I am wont to do, I go on... Oh, if only. I go on, I go on the fucking Steam store, I go on itch.io, and I just browse. And I hate to have come to this realization. There is not a lot that is really like Fallout 4 in that sense. You have a lot of post-apocalyptic open worlds. Almost all of them have like a fixed player character and some kind of linear story. Like if I wanted to pick up Death Stranding or something, that's just fucking Norman Reedus. Yeah. It really do be like that. Yeah, Death Stranding looks fucking sweet. I would love to play this. I don't know if I would pay 60 Earth dollars for it. They really do not. And in the rare occasions that they do, they aren't as open in terms of like character creation or self-directed exploration. And another aspect is nothing is as open as ye old Bethany Esda games. In terms of like modding and putting your own dumb shit in the game. The Forest, that game rules. There is just no other forest. There's just the Forest. And presumably eventually Sons of the Forest, though I don't know what's going on with that. It's real good. It's a 1 in a million experience. Hell, that might be a thing we could do. We could all get together and just play through the forest. That would be a time. I don't know if I remember enough about the game to really be an effective guide, but it is an experience. See, I've gotten distracted going through the Steam store again, and there's just... there's a lot of stuff that looks interesting, and then there's a lot more stuff that doesn't look interesting at all. You may recall on the Discord about the only thing that stood out to me when I opened it up yesterday after getting really pissed off at Fallout 4 was the extremely stupid banner for Battlefield 2042, where a future man is getting lasered in the dick over and over. A spoiler, you say? I remember... Oh, right. Yeah, we are about due for another sale, huh? Yeah, I would wait and see what the prices are on that. I'm tentatively interested in playing Dishonored 2. Shipbreaker gives me weird vibes. Something about the setup kinda... I don't know. Shipbreaker is Hardspace Shipbreaker. It is technically a homeworld game. You're like a blue-collar, shit-kicking spaceman who breaks up spaceships. It has a really cool aesthetic, a really cool premise. It kind of fits into this paradigm of, like, weirdly mean-spirited, like, doomer shit. I got this vibe from Satisfactory as well. Satisfactory is... well, you've probably seen videos of it. You get dumped on an alien planet with a bunch of, like, assembler tools and shit, and you have to be like, you have to turn this verdant alien world into a productive factory for the Fix-It Corporation. And a lot of the humor in the game is just, haha, we're destroying the environment to build big factories. Like, when you die from radiation poisoning, you get an error message that's like, damage to Fix-It property detected. Yeah, and there's an appeal in automation simulation. I love that kind of stuff. Normally, I hate the fucking vibe of it. And Hardspace has less of that, but the big thing that Hardspace does is it tracks your currency in terms of debt. You have a negative value for your currency at all times. Oh, don't take this personally. This is just me having weird feelings about games. I can never have normal feelings about things. It's not how I work. Yeah, no. If I could just like, if I could just shut off, like I'm gesturing, I'm like kind of holding the right side of my head in my palm right here. If I could just pop this entire section out and just shut it off, so I could be normal about games, that would be super cool. I could just like play something on stream and have fun instead of spending days and days in FO4 edit trying to get things to work. funny you say that. So, I mentioned the other day that I had come up with a plan. That was a little bit of a grandiose way of putting it. The plan was literally just checking to see if I had already bought something. And I did. Which one is that? Oh, Generation Zero. That one is very fun. It goes on sale occasionally. It really only works in multiplayer, is the main issue with it. The other issue is that the difficulty vacillates wildly between too easy and impossible. Let me check the store page, actually. Let me see here. Okay, yeah, no, it's back up to $25. That's... Listen, I've played a lot of this. I've played 63 hours of this. 25 is... I'd wait for it to go on sale. It'll probably go on sale again during the autumn sale. So that might be something to keep an eye on. That would be a fun multiplayer thing. Because anything that would grab someone in single player is paper thin. You kind of need someone else around to do dumb shit with. I played most of those 63 hours with my roommate. I had a fantastic time. Even during the several weeks that the game was bugged and robots were capable of firing endless salvos of infinite rockets at you. Laser accurate too. They would go in a perfect arc, going over trees and then come down at you. It's really cool. Oh yeah, we played through that entire thing until they finally patched it, and the game did not exactly get easier, but it did get less bullshit. I think it's been a while since they did any like major patching on this though. They were gesturing at putting in crafting, and then they kind of added half of a crafting system, and then they didn't add the other half. They did add a DLC that adds Soviet weapons, though, so who's to say if it's all bad? Anyway, I would be willing to load that back up, but like I mentioned, it would really only be a multiplayer thing. Underrail. That sounds familiar. Let me look that up. Oh, yeah, my roommate played a ton of this. Oh yeah, old school isometric stuff. That is pretty cool. Yeah, I'll toss that on my wish list, why not? Has a very good aesthetic. Oh, another thing that I was looking at recently as well. I played the original Metro like a very, very long time ago in a perfectly legal way that nonetheless resulted in it not being in my Steam library. I took a look at that. There's like the remastered or whatever. There's the new one, Exodus, where you're on a train. And you know how I feel about trains. So that could be interesting. It didn't review well, but people who review games and I generally have vastly different opinions on Slavjank and trains. There's Chernobylite, which looks interesting. Oh no, I just looked that up and put it on my wish list. I just remembered the name from my my roommate playing it a bunch. But Chernobylite seems interesting, but Chernobylite also has a completely linear main story that does not interest me. And there's something else. I have something called Desolate installed that I don't remember buying.
Чики-брики в дамке!
Ah, welcome. Glad to have you back. There's something, yeah, Desolate. I have this installed. I don't know what it is. I don't remember buying it. It looks vaguely Slav janky, but I don't really know. Oh, damn, happy birthday. Yeah, do absolutely nothing. You deserve it. This might be something to try at some point. A lot of the community content is GIFs of scruffy-looking Ukrainian dudes in gas masks hitting things with metal hooks, and that is absolutely my jam. Yes. That's why I have it. I totally forgot about that. Darkwood. I have not played it. I have heard of it. I don't remember much about it. Oh yeah, the top-down one. That looks pretty cool. I do love conceptual horror. I'm gonna toss that on my list. Oh, speaking of stuff on my list, anyone who actually follows me on Steam probably noticed that I just got a bunch of extremely cheap Euro Truck Simulator 2 DLC. Okay, that rules. That's very good. But I finally got around to transferring over my controls and settings from American Truck Simulator to Euro Truck Simulator, so look forward to that coming back at some point. It's been a while since we did any trucking, American or Euro. Okay, you had my interest, but now you have my attention. That sounds like exactly my jam. And that also sounds like a perfect segue to the thing that I did actually have prepared. Speaking of weird, occasionally frustrating, endlessly fascinating games, who would like to take a guess what I am hovering over the play button for?